Welcome to PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. I'm Norm Wamer. Thank you very much for being here. I know it's been a little while, but we are back. We are back to stay. All right. Our talent agreement with CIW has expired. It is just Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. And yes, we are back. We will be on CW13 here every Saturday night at 11 p.m. And what we're going to do is we are going to give you the history of Powerbomb Championship Wrestling as we lead up to our very first live event. We'll tell you when that's going to be coming up in just a little bit. As we go along, too, we will also be announcing wrestlers that have signed deals with Powerbomb Championship Wrestling to participate. We'll tell you more about that as we go along. Got a lot of people I want to thank for getting us on the air. One of them is our producer, Mike Jameson, Creative Video Imagery, and the Toledo Sports Network, who's doing all the pictures, all the shooting for this, and we thank them. We couldn't get on without them. Tammy Rost from CW13, thank you very much for having the faith in us to be able to bring this to you tonight. I want to thank some of our sponsors, too. Seaway Marketplace over on Cherry Street. We thank you very much for coming on as a sponsor. Mike Seeger's Red Wing Shoes on North Reynolds Road. Thank you very much. Also, the Beer Stube. We also thank the Toledo Academy of Beauty for being on with us here. And if you want to sponsor, if you want to help us out, if you want to be a part of Powerbomb Championship Wrestling, you can get a hold of us two places. One is on Facebook. It's facebook.com/PCW Excitement, or you can find us on Twitter at PCW Excitement. All right, let's get this going and let's get this rolling. We thought that if we were going to get back on after a little while, that we were going to give you over the next few weeks the history of PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. And quite frankly, there's no other place to start than with these two guys, because this is really how this all got started and how this all got going. And it really got going in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It has been a long feud for a long time. Ups and downs. They've been partners. They've been adversaries. It's been back and forth, but we had to start somewhere, and we're starting not quite 5 years ago in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Andy Shane, Bobo Brazil Jr. They will forever be linked together in their careers, sometimes as partners, sometimes not. But the blow-up of a long feud happened not a little less, I should say, than 5 years ago in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And let's take a look at the footage.
It is a total sneak attack.
Not wasting any time. Oh, this is brutal. He's shoving the ref. He's shoving the ring announcer. He's just going to town on Bobo Brazil, and Bobo didn't even see it coming.
He is absolutely blindsided, Bobo Brazil. He's absolutely... a big elbow. I mean, this is bad for Bobo, because I'm telling you, Andy Shane is a very, very dangerous wrestler. He is absolutely...
Oh, where's Andy going to get it? Get a chair?
Yeah.
Dangerous, sadistic. This is ridiculous, Dr. Graham. This is ridiculous.
This is carnage. This is inhuman. Whoa! Did he give it to both? This is uncalled for.
Well, I don't know what that's going to do. The DDT onto the chair. I'm hearing the bell ring, but that's the wrong thing you want to do is drop Bobo Brazil down on his head. And Bobo is firing back now.
Here he comes. Here he comes. Here comes Bobo. The ref is moving in.
I think this is more than what Andy Shane wanted. And look at that! Coco butt to the referee!
This is going too far. We got to stop this.
Well, Dr. Graham has just left the broadcast position. He's trying to restore order out here. We were supposed to see Andy Shane and Bobo Brazil, but Andy with the sneak attack, and now the locker room has basically been emptied trying to separate these two guys. Dr. Graham,
this has gone far enough. This has gone far enough. This is absolutely inhuman. It's uncalled for. We cleared the dressing room. I don't like to do something because I called for this myself, but this is going too far with the chairs, the referee down. It's gone too far. The hatred between these two men is coming to a boil where it's getting to be dangerous.
I think every wrestler in the locker room now is here, and Bobo Brazil is fighting off all of them, it seems. And we're seeing these wrestlers trying to restrain both of these guys, but because the feud, just the brutality between the two, the animosity runs so deep, I don't think the entire locker room can keep them separated.
These guys are having a heck of a time. It's about 15, 20 guys trying to control 2 men.
And they're not doing a good job of it. Well, maybe a little bit better now, but again, we saw the sneak attack from Andy Shane. We saw the DDT onto the chair. You never, and once again, Dr. Graham is leaving the broadcast position to see if he can restore order as they lost their control on Bobo Brazil. And I'm not sure what's happening now. They're trying to get Andy Shane out of the ring. And we've seen, about 10 wrestlers laying on top of Bobo Brazil right now, trying to just at least get this separated to see what's going on here. And they've succeeded now in finally separating these individuals.
Boomer, this is going to come to a head somewhere real quick. These 2 men, they can't keep going on like this. It just cannot be done.
Something has to happen, and I know something will, where these 2 finally settle the score. The animosity, again, it runs so deep between Andy Shane and Bobo Brazil. It took an entire locker room of like 25 wrestlers to sort things out, and even then it took 5 minutes to sort things out.
Yeah, I had to go through, try to sort it through. They didn't know what to do with it.
We're going to go back and see if we can talk with Andy Shane here. Fans, I can't believe what we just saw in the ring. Andy Shane, Bobo Brazil. You can see it at Somerset Hall, August 30th. I want to try and get a word from Andy Shane. Andy.
I don't need it. I don't want to hear it. Just get out of here. Bobo's done. He's a dick. Get out of my face. I don't need this bunch of little morons in my face, cameraman.
On the 30th, Somerset Hall, Andy Shane, Bobo Brazil. You will want to be there. It is going to be huge. After that sneak attack by Andy Shane on Bobo Brazil, we're going to try and get a word from Bobo Brazil. If you can follow me, we're going to try and get Bobo in the locker room. Bobo, we'd love to get a word from, it's just us. We would love to get a word from you. I know you're still obviously angry, upset, hurt after Andy Shane's sneak attack, but we really want to just see where you're at right now, both mentally and physically.
You know what? Andy Shane, this is the last straw. This is the last time you're going to jump me. All this got to be squashed and washed real soon. Very, very soon, Andy. I didn't like what went on out here. I didn't like what you did to Rosie, but I want to tell you something, Andy. The time has come. The time has come when we get in the ring, it's me and you. I'm going to break you in two when I get my hands on you. And you know, once I get my hand on you, it's going to be pow! Pow! All day long. And you know what, Andy? When I get to him, I'm going to kick. And I'm gonna kick, and I'm gonna beat, and I'm gonna beat. I'm gonna beat his brains out when I get in that ring. And I want to tell you something, man. The last time, no more chance, because this time, there's no more going to the hospital. Because my theory for me, I'm too hip to trip and I'm too cold to get old. And I'm gonna tell you something, the time has come for you to get cold, Andy. Deep down under 6 feet, no more going to the hospital. The last straw. Now get that camera out of my...
Right there, you got a pretty good feel for that feud between Andy Shane and Bobo Brazil Jr. And what we're going to show coming up next is the very first main event of the very first PCW show in Toledo, Andy Shane, Bobo Brazil Jr. It was a wild match, and it's coming your way next. And remember, as always, it's not PC, it's PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling.
Breathe deep, the cooling air, sun setting tonight. You gotta make your mark, load up on the road.
I shop at Seaway Marketplace because they have the fastest lines in town.
Seaway Marketplace.
This is my store.
I buy almost all of my produce here at Seaway Marketplace for my home and my restaurant.
This is my store.
Seaway Marketplace Deli has the best chicken in town.
This is my store. I shop at Seaway Marketplace because of the big selection of meat and seafood.
This is my store.
Seaway Marketplace, corner of Cherry and Bancroft.
Seaway Marketplace, this is my store.
Your career will occupy 1/3 of your life. Shouldn't it be fun, profitable, and secure? The Toledo Academy of Beauty has successfully trained over 10,000 graduates in the cosmetology industry. Call 419-478-6660 for a free brochure. We also offer beauty services by supervised students. Even professional wrestlers like Dr. Jerry Graham is a client. Have fun, be cool, choose the right beauty school. It's Toledo Academy of Beauty.
Do your utility bills have you down? Get out from under those heavy bills with new windows from Dunright Building Services. New windows from Dunright can change the vision of your home both inside and out. And right now, for a limited time only, you can get any white double-hung standard window for only $179 each. Remember, for a job done right, you better call Dunright.
New home, same address. It starts with new windows. Call us at Dunright Building Services today.
It's the Beer Stube, located at 5333 Monroe Street, the home of the NFL Sunday Ticket. Catch your favorite game at the Beer Stube. We have a brand new kitchen open daily for lunch and dinner at 11 a.m. At the Beer Stube, it's a Wi-Fi hotspot and enjoy free pool from Sunday through Wednesday and premier karaoke Wednesday night through Saturday night. It's where bar, grill, and good times come together. It's the Beer Stube, 5333 Monroe Street, online at ToledoBS.com.
Since 1905, Red Wing Shoe Company has been making purpose-built work footwear. The skilled employees in our 3 U.S. factories build over 1.2 million pairs of shoes annually. We are the largest Red Wing shoe dealer in northwestern Ohio with over 2,500 pairs in stock. Stop by our newly renovated store at 2122 North Reynolds Road. Shoes and boots that have served generations of hard-working people.
Breathe deep, the cooling air, sun setting tonight.
Back we are, PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/PCW Excitement. Also follow us on Twitter at PCW Excitement. We got announcements to come up as we will tell you when the very first live PCW show will be. All right, let's get to the match. Andy Shane, Bobo Brazil Jr., you saw what led up to it. They finally got a hold of each other at the very first main event of the first PCW show in Toledo. Andy Shane, Bobo Brazil Jr. coming your way now.
Standing here in the WWA, not even waiting for the bell to start, Sean Boomer Bratton, Norm Wamer here out ringside. It's Bobo Brazil taking on Andy Shane, and they're just firing punches back and forth, and back and forth.
This has been a vicious, vicious feud. It's one that's banned in multiple states. We are fortunate enough to have it here in Toledo.
And look at that. We're seeing punches. We're seeing clotheslines. We're seeing kicks. We're seeing Andy Shane being delivered right to the front row of the fans here. This is a feud, like you've said, certain municipalities, certain cities, certain states do not want this for fear of what is going to happen. They do not want to sanction it for fear of the repercussions coming out of this.
This has to end. This has to end tonight.
And look at that Cocoa Butt delivered by Bobo Brazil on the outside. It is last man standing. The referee is going to do his best to enforce the rules here in this match. What rules do you have? I don't know. I mean, the referee might want it into the ring, but if it's last man standing, you know, a pinfall could happen on the outside.
Oh, listen to those thunderous chops by Bobo.
And another one of those Cocoa Butts delivered by Bobo Brazil. Bobo Brazil and Andy Shane have feuded for years now, and they have said, and we've seen the build-up over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of months, they have said that this is going to be it. They will settle the score here, and look at that, draping that neck over that top rope, and doing that neck hang right over there, and Andy Shane taking over, and that drop kick to Bobo Brazil. They've said they are going to end this tonight, and tonight is where they're going to end it.
Boomer, they were big-time friends. They were best man at each other's weddings. But it's all gone sour. It's all gone south. It's turned into one of the most vicious feuds professional wrestling has ever seen, and it's got to end here tonight. Look at Andy Shane.
Andy Shane over the top rope.
Holy Toledo.
Diving. Wow. Oh, my gosh. Over the top rope, a human torpedo just spiking Bobo Brazil. And as you can see, there is no guardrail separating the fans from the ringside area. They ended up in the first, I think even the second row of fans here. at WWA, which is this is the action that you get, fans, when you come and check us out live.
Boomer, they know this is it. They know this is the last match of this feud, and there is nothing going to be left out, nothing going to be left behind. They're going to let it all hang out.
And thumb to the eye of Bobo Brazil. I'm really not quite sure how Andy Shane has his bearing straight after that dive over the top rope. A couple of punches. Looks like he's going to try and mare him over the corner. Snapmares out Bobo Brazil. And those boots right to the eyes, right to the forehead of Bobo Brazil. And that basement drop kick. Bobo goes back and is opposed to going for that traditional cover. I think at this point Andy Shane really wants to just administer more punishment to Bobo Brazil.
Well, I think Andy Shane knows that he's probably not going to get a 3 count this early in the match.
Yes.
This is going to be a match of endurance.
And that's precisely what we're going to see right now. Andy knows that he can't put Bobo Brazil away. He's thrown everything at him so far, including the kitchen sink, and Bobo is back up onto his feet. A couple of punches into the midsection. Bobo fires back with that knee to the middle. European uppercut. Andy Shane is now staggering. Punch right to the top of the head of Andy Shane, and Andy Shane goes down. Just back and forth, Norm, back and forth here in the WWA. Big backdrop. I thought he was going to take a few ceiling tiles out with that.
He almost did. I think he scraped a boot on the ceiling. Look at the strength by Bobo.
Just muscling up Andy Shane.
These guys have not only fought all over the Midwest, they've fought all over the United States, all over the world.
And we're just, I guess if you want to use the word privilege, because we are privileged to see this this carnage, to see this here in the WWA as these two men have decided to settle their feud once and for all.
There's been broken bones. There's been trips to the hospital.
Well, speaking of broken bones.
And that's a good way to break a leg right there.
Exactly.
And he might have done it.
I'll be surprised if Andy Shane is able to get to his feet. After that, he's going to try to. I mean, Andy Shane is going to give it a valiant effort as he uses those ropes for a little bit of support. But Bobo now knows that going after that knee is probably his best option. Just kicking away right at the backside of that knee. Illegal in football. You know, we're seeing the chop block. And down goes Andy Shane. Bobo goes for the cover, but look at that. He knocked over Andy Shane. Andy was right into the ropes, and the referee's not going to count to 3 on that one.
Back we are, PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. Let's get you right back to that great match. Andy Shane, Bobo Brazil Jr.
Taker when he broke into the business again under the tutelage of Dr. Jerry Graham, which is why Dr. Graham has that vested interest in this matchup. And we've seen Andy Shane pull out all the stops, including some very dangerous high-flying maneuvers in this match.
Boomer, the referee cannot count these guys out. You have got to let this match go.
No, this we can't have a count out here. We need to see.
We cannot have it end this way.
The whole point of this match is that there would be a winner. There would be a winner, a way to settle this feud once and for all. And now both wrestlers are back into the ring. Bobo really looks dazed at this point. I think Andy looks a little dazed as well. Has him set up in that side Saito suplex, takes him up and over. Didn't really get all that he wanted on that. You've got to think, with Bobo Brazil, it's 280 pounds of muscle, and Andy Shane is definitely fatigued at this point. Not sure where Andy Shane is going. He's looking
under the ring, Boomer.
Does he have a table?
He might.
He actually is pulling a table out, and the crowd is going crazy.
He's got a
for
table.
This.
And Dr. Jerry Graham Jr. is off to the side here watching this match, pacing back and forth. He can hardly watch this.
Well, and what's going to happen here? I mean, nothing good can happen with this table in the ring, and obviously Andy Shane's intent is to put Bobo Brazil through that table and end this thing once and for all.
Yeah, not only through the table, but out of professional wrestling.
Exactly.
He wants to end his career.
And look at that, Andy Shane has Bobo Brazil cinch for a suplex DDT. Goes for a DDT, and normally, and there we go, yep. Dropping Bobo on his head, not the smartest thing to do, and he just shook it off.
Well, you're not thinking real clear when you're this beat up in a match like this.
And look at that.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, my gosh. Oh! Power bombs Andy Shane through that table.
This has got to be over.
Norm, that has to do it. That has to do it. And Bobo Brazil is picking him up, Norm.
Oh, my. This has got to be over.
What is Bobo Brazil going to do to him after that?
Oh!
And the flying Cocoa Butt. He goes for the cover, hooks the leg.
Oh, my!
Andy Shane is able to kick out,
You've got to be kidding me. How do you kick out? How could you possibly kick out? Oh, and he's got a piece of the table.
Over the back of Bobo Brazil. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
What is keeping Andy Shane going?
Back into the eyes. Bobo a little, once again, disoriented. What are we going to see here? Tries to go for maybe an O'Connor roll. Has him rolled up. And look, there's a reversal. And Andy Shane can't get out. Andy Shane is pinned. The winner is Bobo Brazil.
All right, your winner of the match, Bobo Brazil Jr. And for all your trivia buffs, Bobo Brazil Jr. was the second PCW heavyweight champion. We'll show you who the first one was coming up a little bit later on. We also can announce that Andy Shane has signed a deal. He will be a participant in Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. If Andy Shane's around, you know that Bobo Brazil Jr. is going to be around in some capacity. All right, our main event coming up, you'll see Andy Shane back again, teaming with Crimson, defending the PCW Tag Team titles against CIA. That is in our main event. Coming your way next, yeah, we're going to turn back the clock here a little bit, as Jerry Graham would like to say, the Remember Then segment, and we're going back a ways. It is the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. Mark Lewin defends his title against maybe one of the biggest villains of all time, The Sheik. Coming your way on PCW right now.
Mark Lewin pounding away on the head of the Sheik now with that object. Repeatedly driving it into the head of the Sheik. Not once, not twice, but a dozen times, maybe 2 dozen times. Mark Lewin pounding and pounding and pounding on the Sheik's head. Now with both hands, he brings that object down into the head of the Sheik. Mark Lewin pounding away here, trying to hang on to something that is precious to him, the United States Heavyweight Championship belt. This is a loser leave town situation. The loser of this bout must leave town. The loser must leave town. And the winner, it remains, will be the United States Heavyweight Championship. The count is in to 2. Almost 3, but 2 is all it went. Lewin, feeling victory very close at hand, turns around now and hammers away again on the Sheik. Both men collide. Both men are down. The count is in. The count is in. Both men are down. Who's going to get up first here may determine the championship. Lewin is up first. He covers the Sheik. Kriegsman throws him off. Kriegsman interferes. He's warned by the referee. Eddie Kriegsman came in. Lewin on his feet now, being warned by the referee about the use of the object in his hand. Lewin seeing it as an eye for an eye, a fair situation. If he can do it, why can't I? And again, Lewin pounds away, and it's small of the back now, the Sheik. Lewin pounding at will on the wild man from Syria. The Sheik goes down. Mark Lewin covers him for the pin. Here comes Kriegsman. Kriegsman chased out of the ring. The Sheik very slowly gets to his feet, drives one to the midsection of Mark Lewin. Lewin is the champion, the Sheik the challenger, the former champion, wants that title, and he's fighting with everything he's got to get that title away from Mark Lewin. Mark Lewin now, half in, half out of the ring. Mark Lewin grabs, he has dropped the object, the Sheik has it back. The Sheik grabbing Lewin now, putting that object in his throat. Lewin literally fighting for his life here with a wild man from Syria. The referee grabbed the arm of the Sheik. The Sheik dropped the object. The Sheik dropped the object. The referee is throwing it out of the ring. Mark Lewin pounding away on the Sheik. The Sheik dangling off the ropes now, drops to one knee. Chopping the Sheik falling to the second rope. Now Lewin throws the Sheik on the rope, sleeper hold. Lewin has the sleeper hold on the Sheik. Here comes Eddie Kriegsman. He's trying to get Mark Lewin from throwing the sleeper hold. The referee went down. A ball of fire into the face of Mark Lewin. Kriegsman gotten away too. I think Kriegsman got the fire. I think Eddie Kriegsman got the fire. I think Eddie Kriegsman got the fire. Mark Lewin got the fire thrown in his face. Mark Lewin had the sleeper on the Sheik. Eddie Kriegsman came in to try to break it up. Mark Lewin pushed Eddie Kriegsman into the referee. The referee went down. Lewin's on the floor. The Sheik threw that fire. He hit Lewin and he got Kriegsman too. Kriegsman's been burned with a fire. Mark Lewin's been burned with a fire.
8 minutes, 35 seconds, the winner, and new United States Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, the Sheik.
The Sheik is the champion. The Sheik has won his title. The referee did not see the fire. The referee was knocked down, but when the Sheik threw the fire, he burned not only Lewin, but Kriegsman too. And then Lewin was outside of the ring. When the referee came around, Lewin was laying outside the ring. Lewin was counted out of the ring. The Sheik has been awarded the title. Chuck Allen, come here.
Your winner of the match was the Sheik, who gained the U.S. Heavyweight Championship in not so clean fashion, as you can see. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we will tell you two things. For you history buffs, we'll show you who the very first PCW Heavyweight Champion was, and we will tell you when the very next PCW event in Toledo will be. It's all coming your way next. It's not PC, it's PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling.
Breathe deep, the cooling air, sun setting tonight. You gotta make your mark, load up on the road.
Since 1905, Red Wing Shoe Company has been making purpose-built work footwear. The skilled employees in our 3 U.S. factories build over 1.2 million pairs of shoes annually. We are the largest Red Wing shoe dealer in northwestern Ohio with over 2,500 pairs in stock. Stop by our newly renovated store at 2122 North Reynolds Road. Shoes and boots that have served generations of hard-working people.
I shop at Seaway Marketplace because they have the fastest lines in town.
Seaway Marketplace.
This is my store.
I buy almost all of my produce here at Seaway Marketplace for my home and my restaurant.
This is my store.
Seaway Marketplace Deli has the best chicken in town.
This is my store. store.
I shop at Seaway Marketplace because of the big selection of meat and seafood.
This is my store.
Seaway Marketplace, corner of Cherry and Bancroft.
Seaway Marketplace, this is my store.
Your career will occupy 1/3 of your life. Shouldn't it be fun, profitable, and secure? The Toledo Academy of Beauty has successfully trained over 10,000 graduates in the cosmetology industry. Call 419-478-6660 for a free brochure. We also offer beauty services by supervised students. Even professional wrestlers like Dr. Jerry Graham is a client. Have fun, be cool, choose the right beauty school. It's Toledo Academy of Beauty.
Internet service, no longer just a luxury, but a vital service in most households, and your family deserves the best. Amplex Internet provides reliable and affordable service to rural and suburban locations throughout Northwest Ohio, including Bowling Green, Port Clinton, Genoa, Fremont, Oak Harbor, and many other communities. No phone or cable line needed, and there is no hidden fees or extra charges. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers choose Amplex Internet. Visit us at www.amplex.net.
It's the Beer Stube, located at 5333 Monroe Street, the home of the NFL Sunday Ticket. Catch your favorite game at the Beer Stube. We have a brand new kitchen open daily for lunch and dinner at 11 a.m. At the Beer Stube, it's a Wi-Fi hotspot and enjoy free pool from Sunday through Wednesday and premier karaoke Wednesday night through Saturday night. It's where bar, grill, and good times come together. It's the Beer Stube, 5333 Monroe Street, online at ToledoBS.com.
Breathe deep, the cooling air sun setting tonight. You gotta make your mark, load up on the road.
Back we are, Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. I'm Norm Wamer. All right, your next announcement. It is the announcement of the next live event for PCW in Toledo. It will come your way on Sunday, January the 25th. Sunday, January the 25th. And we will be back at the International Boxing Club, 525 Earlwood Avenue, just off of Star in I-280. Doors will open at 4. Bell time is at 5. Circle that date on your calendar. As we go along here in the next couple of weeks, we will tell you how you can get tickets for that event. We will also begin to tell you who will be on that card for the event. But it is Sunday, January the 25th at the International Boxing Club. All right, we teased this one. You saw Bobo Brazil Jr. earlier, who was the second PCW heavyweight champion. Coming up next here, the first PCW heavyweight champion, and it was Will Studd, the big powerhouse. All right, let's take a look at him. It's Will Studd coming your way, and he was the first PCW heavyweight champion. All right, it's coming your way now on PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling.
You know, it's not too often here in Powerbomb Championship Wrestling I actually feel sorry for someone. I actually kind of feel sorry for the young man who has to face the former champion Will Studd. What's his name? Penn Badgley? That's the guy on Gossip Girl. Whoever it is, Bentley? I don't know. I'm sure he doesn't drive a Bentley. I think that was that used Yugo I found in the back parking lot. But wow, we talk about some size discrepancies here in Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. Boy, this guy's giving up a lot of size and a lot of strength to Will Studd. This could be a beating. This could be bad. Will Studd has only been back in active competition for just over a year, had a massive knee injury, and hence there's that giant knee brace on the right knee of Will Studd. But boy, he's back, and he is big, and he is better than ever. Even the crowd said it, Norm. They felt bad for his opponent tonight.
Yeah, he's dropped some weight. He's gotten bigger up top. And when you're he's better than a year out now from that ACL injury, so he's in good shape right now.
I had a chance to talk with Will Studd in the locker room beforehand, and yeah, you notice he's dropped a lot of weight in the middle, but put on a lot of weight up top. And he says it's just been a new workout program that he's been doing, and certainly looks like was it the Penn Badgley, the Gossip Girl guy who's wrestling right now? Whatever. I mean, I don't know if it really matters. You know, they might just have to scrape him up off the mat when it's all over.
Did you just reference the Gossip Girl?
Yes, I did. I DVR it every week.
Wow.
Well, why were you asking me for my DVD box set of it?
I don't even know what the Gossip Girl is.
Yeah, he says that now. Ask him what he's doing on Monday nights. Off the ropes, big shoulder tackle. Will Studd bringing the kid back up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can the ring support that, Norm? And Will Studd, who's, it kind of keeps to himself. He's got a lot of fans here in Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. Tries to block the suplex. Is it going to work? Tries to block. Gives him a couple of shots. There we go.
That's going to get it.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. I think, Norm, Will Studd could turn into a fan favorite here in Powerbomb Championship Wrestling.
Just immense power.
Going to take him off the ropes, it looks like. Set in for the big ride. Oh, my gosh.
He can do anything he wants with him here.
Oh! That just pains me to watch this. The referee's going to let it continue.
You got to be tough to put that Superman tattoo on your chest, first of all.
Yeah, that is real.
Yes.
A lot of people actually think that it's like magic marker or a temporary tattoo.
No.
This is the clothesline. Drop kick and Will goes down. I don't see that often.
Upset,
Hooks
maybe.
away. No, not going to happen. Oh, and Will's mad. Oh, Will is mad. Nope. Oh, my gosh. Huge clothesline. Well, so much for that offensive flurry. What are we going to see here? He calls this a stud factor. Looks like he's setting up for it. Spins him.
Oh, gosh.
That's it.
That's got to be over.
And your winner is Will Studd.
And your winner of the fall of the match, Will Studd. There you go, the winner of the match, the very first PCW heavyweight champion, Will Studd. And we can also tell you that Will Studd has indeed signed a deal with Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. You will see, from what I'm being told, a leaner, meaner version of Will Studd. All right, don't forget, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PCW Excitement. You can also follow us on Twitter at PCW Excitement. All right, main event time here on Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. Needs a little setup because we're going back a ways and we're telling you the tale of Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. All right, PCW tag team titles on the line. Andy Shane had won the PCW tag team titles with Sean Casey. Sean Casey had an injury. He needed someone to help him defend the titles. He picked, of all people, the mysterious Crimson. That wackaloon, for some reason, that's who he chose to defend against the former champions, CIA, who were known then as Black Velvet, Denzel Titan, from right here in Toledo. This is the title defense. Andy Shane and Crimson walked in with the belts as they defended against CIA. A tremendous match. Let's take a look at it.
Champions Andy Shane and Crimson taking on the former champs CIA. Now we know that Andy Shane won those titles with Sean Casey, but due to an injury, Sean Casey unable to compete. So what has happened now is Angel Bailey, the commissioner, has said that Andy Shane could find a partner to defend those titles with him. That partner is Crimson. We've witnessed them tag before. Now we're seeing them as the official tag team champions, taking on the CIA. And Norm, I think we are in for just an all-out brawl with this one.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, Boomer, too. I don't trust a thing Sean Casey ever said in his life. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know if he just doesn't want to be here, doesn't like Toledo, whatever. Regardless, the tag team titles have to be on the line here tonight. And Andy Shane has taken Crimson as his partner.
Well, I do have to think from pure wrestling ability that Andy Shane traded up from going from Sean Casey to Crimson. But boy, Crimson, I guess the best way to describe him is deranged.
Oh, yeah, and you know, even if all things were equal, and I'm not sure that they are, nobody wants to tangle with somebody who you don't know if he's all there or not.
No, I mean, I really think that, Andy Shane made a deal with the devil in picking Crimson to be his tag partner, but, as you are one half of the champions, you need a guy that, can hold up his own end, and certainly Crimson can do that. A good double teaming early on from CIA, working that arm.
Well, that was Andy Shane's choice to take on Crimson as a partner. But I tell you what, Boomer, CIA, this is all they've been talking about for these last 3 weeks since they lost, or actually longer than that, 2 months, lost the tag team titles. This is all they've been talking about. They are just obsessing about this title.
And they had that one prior title shot, but it actually became non-title because that was the first time that Sean Casey, I guess, was injured. So Angel Bailey saying, well, we're going to have a tag match, but just not for the titles. And boy, CIA really looks crisp tonight, don't they, Norm?
Yes, they do. And, you know, it's really easy to be critical of management, but there's no question that the commissioner did the right thing in making this a title match.
Exactly. And Andy Shane knew that going in, and I'm sure, there was some trepidation on Andy Shane's part, knowing that, boy, is my partner really going to show up? So once again, went back, brought in Crimson as his partner. This is our first look at Crimson, and look at that nice roll up there. Crimson caught unawares with that one, but Crimson back up to his feet, knee into the midsection, whips off Titan, ducks under, and look at that big cross body. Kicks out on that one. Big drop kick as well. Boy, that table is just and a nice deep arm drag. There's so much action. It's like the tremors, the shock waves are actually rolling through our table here at ringside, Norm. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I just want to pull that back a little bit there from the ring apron.
Ever since they moved us here at ringside, I've really been nervous, and I've had to make sure my insurance is really paid up.
Well, I don't know if you could be more nervous than you were getting into the ring with Pastor Payne and having Buck Lawless be working around ringside.
And that's the thing, and I really think I was trying to make a stand for all the wrestlers, for all the fans that have been wronged by Pastor Payne, insulted by Pastor Payne. But Norm, as well as I do, that Pastor Payne is not going anywhere.
Well, unfortunately, that's probably the case.
Knee right into the head of Denzel Titan. I mean, you've got to look now, and there's Andy Shane just going away, and Dr. Jerry Graham, of course, at ringside.
That's really good continuity, and I'm sure you can credit Jerry Graham with that. 5-time former WWA Tag Team Champion, one of the best managers in the business, and he, at least Andy Shane and Crimson seem to be on the same page. I'm not sure about Andy Shane, though, and Jerry Graham.
Well, Andy Shane is really one of those rare wrestlers that excels not only in singles competition, but also in tag team competition. Usually you're good at one or the other. With Andy Shane, he's the jack of all trades, as he can do both very well.
He is a threat to any title anywhere.
Well, there's been times where he's, simultaneously been the world champ and the tag team champ. And a double suplex. Boy, they almost broke the ring with that one, Norm. And Crimson right into the throat of Denzel Titan. We've not seen Black Velvet in here for the last couple of minutes, so I'm sure really Titan needs to get into that corner, and he's trying to fight back. Knife edge chop, doing what he can, but is it going to be enough to knock down Crimson? I'm not sure, but he's certainly doing what he can. Crimson with the reversal back elbow brings Titan down to his knees. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, gosh.
About took his head off, and he didn't even see it coming. That attack from Crimson, Norm, can just come out of nowhere.
Crimson, a veteran wrestler, he's worked under the name Conrad Kennedy III or CK3. And from what I've found out, he just hasn't gotten to where he wanted to get to as a wrestler, and really, he can't deal with not being successful. Is just taking it out on everybody else.
And look at Andy Shane with that flip dive over the top. Oh my gosh, it was like a human missile.
Crimson is going to make everybody pay.
Yes, he is.
For what he has not accomplished, and that's just twisted. And now look, Jerry Graham, Andy Shane arguing.
Well, and ever since Andy Shane has, he reconciled with Bobo Brazil and reconciled with Dr. Jerry Graham, but we've seen with Andy's recent foray into tag team wrestling that some of his tactics have differed from what Dr. Jerry Graham believes.
Well, I see both sides of this, too. I mean, Jerry Graham's not the same guy that he used to be, and he wants to do everything the right way. And Jerry Graham is a great example today for everybody who's getting into this business. It wasn't always that way.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But he's a changed man.
And look at that, just with those meat hooks.
Andy Shane, not a changed man.
Yeah.
Crimson, definitely changed man.
Yeah.
and not for the better.
You know, with Andy Shane, you always know what you're getting with Andy Shane. Top-notch competitor, very innovative, but you know he's not afraid to bend a rule here and there. And look at that. Now Titan is just firing back. And Crimson with that jawbreaker, that'll shut you down real fast.
Oh, my goodness.
And just threw that foot right into the side of the head of Denzel Titan.
Didn't even go for the pin.
No, not at all. Just went to inflict more punishment is what he did, Norm. And again, Titan is trying to fire back. Couple of shots, couple more. He's got to get to his feet. He's got to make it to that corner to get the Black Velvet as soon as he can. Snapmare up and over. This Crimson with his feet on the ropes. Boy, they have taken it to Denzel Titan for the better part of 10 minutes now. And Andy Shane going where he likes to go, which is up top. And boy, oh my gosh. He just delivered that leg drop. He actually just threw his entire body weight on top of that knee. And what do you call this? What kind of crab do you call that, Norm?
Effective.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. Maybe not textbook, but effective.
You know, whether you agree with the tactics or not, it's effective.
Well, that's why Andy Shane is a co-holder of the Tag Team Championship. Has him in that front face lock. And Titan is still feeling that knee, but he is trying to fire back. Couple of shots into the middle, and Andy Shane calls in Crimson. Calling in Crimson. And Shane is trying to, oh, look at that. He's trying to keep that hand. Boy, and they are reaching. They are reaching, and Andy Shane doing whatever he can to keep that tag from happening. Now Crimson is into the ring. And there's the tag, Norm. He made the tag.
But the referee didn't see it.
And Black Velvet, he should be the legal man.
And now a double team on Denzel Titan. And there was no tag there.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, Andy Shane is one of the dirtiest players in the game when need be, and you'll do whatever you can to hold on to those tag titles.
Andy Shane, Jerry Graham arguing again.
Now we see Crimson, he's hanging Titan into that trio. Whoa. Titan's chest is just so exposed, and Titan trying to cover up with that arm, but it's not doing much good.
Boomer, he's totally helpless where he's at.
I didn't know what Crimson is going to do here.
It ain't going to be good. Oh, Denzel Titan. You got to have incredible abdominals. Look at that. Bulldog type maneuver.
I'm not even sure what to call that. I mean, it was effective. It took Crimson down. Titan got up out of the way, hooked the head of Crimson, and dropped down in some sort of like diamond cutter. And now it's going to be who can make that tag first.
The crowd here in Toledo definitely behind the hometown CIA.
And it looks like it's going to be Crimson, but Titan crawling along the ropes. Titan makes the tag. Now Denzel, yes, Denzel Titan makes the tag. Black Velvet is in, clothesline to Andy Shane.
Black Velvet, look at that bicycle drop kick.
Wow. One-legged drop kick flips up and over his opponent. Shane goes off the ropes. Big back elbow. Crimson is sent in.
Oh, my.
Look at that elevation of that black elbow, that back elbow from Denzel Titan.
Not only did he catch Crimson under the chin, Crimson also hit the back of his head.
Yeah. Man, there's so much going on, Norm. I can't even call this.
And then there goes Black Velvet. He did hang on.
Now Andy Shane catches Denzel Titan.
Oh, gosh, a big belly-to-belly.
That was huge. Suplexed him right out of his boots.
Oh!
And look at that.
All four men.
Oh, it's just pure carnage right now. And Dr. Jerry Graham is still watching intently at ringside as Black Velvet climbs to the top. Crimson cuts him off. That huge punch. What's Crimson going to do now?
This ain't going to be good either.
No, there's no chance of this being good.
Oh, my!
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no, that's got to do it. Oh, and how did he get out?
I have no clue. I don't even know how to call that. It's another move, and we've seen about 5 of them in this match that we just don't even know how to call.
I didn't see any way that Black Velvet was going to kick out of that.
Now Titan attacks Crimson. Crimson with the reversal. Titan is caught up in the ropes. Crimson gets ahead of steam.
Up, there goes Crimson.
Him, yeah. Pulls that low bridge. Crimson goes to the outside, and he does not look happy about that. And he's trying to get that shade of Andy Shane's.
Crimson going for the chain. Jerry Graham took it away from him.
Shane does not want to, or Jerry Graham doesn't want Crimson to
They're
get
battling
that chain.
over the chain on the outside.
Action on the inside.
Oh, there comes Denzel Titan.
With that crossbody through the second and third rope into the front row of fans here.
Black Velvet still down. Andy Shane got one right in the nose.
Oh, my gosh.
Denzel Titan, I'm not sure if he quite knows where he's at.
And look at that. Flips him up and over. They kind of catch each other, but they collide just a little bit. But Titan is up on his feet. And a code breaker.
Oh!
Into a super kick. Both wrestlers cover. And Norm, we've got new champions. CIA regaining the titles.
Your winners and new WWE World Tag Team Champions, Black Velvet, Denzel Titan, CIA.
What a match that was. So much innovative offense, so much that we've never seen before. That's what action here in the WWA is all about, but it looks like there's some sort of dissension here between Graham and Andy Shane.
Andy Shane and Jerry Graham going nose to nose.
Well, it's like Andy Shane is upset that Dr. Jerry Graham wouldn't let Crimson use that chain. Now Crimson is back in the ring.
Oh, he's not happy.
No, not at all.
Crimson's not happy. Oh,
that's
now
the wrong thing to do.
He pushes Jerry Graham. Now wait it. Oh, now
Graham pushes back as he
this
should.
is not good. Oh my goodness!
He just punched Dr. Jerry Graham.
Crimson's all over Jerry Graham.
And Andy Shane is trying to pull Crimson off of Graham.
Oh, this is totally broken down. Andy Shane and Jerry Graham may have their differences, but Andy Shane is always going to back Jerry Graham.
Well, we're in a bad spot. They're tearing up Somerset Hall here as Crimson and Andy Shane are going at it.
Oh, Andy Shane, Crimson toe-to-toe, all the way back to the locker room.
So let me get this straight, Norm. Andy Shane was upset at Jerry Graham for not letting Crimson use the chain. They're arguing. Crimson attacks Jerry Graham from behind, but Andy Shane is like, no one attacks Jerry Graham but me. Then Crimson and Andy Shane go at it.
Andy Shane is, he's going to stick up for Jerry Graham, whether they have their differences or not.
What a tremendous tag team match. 4 tremendous athletes in the ring. CIA, Black Velvet, Denzel Titan come away with the tag team titles. I believe their second of 3 reigns as PCW tag team champions. Tremendous tag team. All right, we're going to send it to break, and we'll come back. We'll wrap things up. We'll recap what we have seen, and we will preview what we are going to see next week. It's not PC, it's PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling.
Breathe deep, the cooling air, sun setting tonight. You gotta make your mark, load up on the road.
Since 1905, Red Wing Shoe Company has been making purpose-built work footwear. The skilled employees in our 3 U.S. factories build over 1.2 million pairs of shoes annually. We are the largest Red Wing shoe dealer in northwestern Ohio with over 2,500 pairs in stock. Stop by our newly renovated store at 2122 North Reynolds Road. Shoes and boots that have served generations of hard-working people.
I shop at Seaway Marketplace because they have the fastest lines in town.
Seaway Marketplace.
This is my store.
I buy almost all of my produce here at Pcw Marketplace for my home and my restaurant.
This is my store.
Seaway Marketplace Deli has the best chicken in town.
This is my store. I shop at Seaway Marketplace because of the big selection of meat and seafood.
This is my store.
Seaway Marketplace, corner of Cherry and Bancroft.
Seaway Marketplace. This is my store.
Your career will occupy 1/3 of your life. Shouldn't it be fun, profitable, and secure? The Toledo Academy of Beauty has successfully trained over 10,000 graduates in the cosmetology industry. Call 419-478-6660 for a free brochure. We also offer beauty services by supervised students. Even professional wrestlers like Dr. Jerry Graham is a client. Have fun, be cool, choose the right beauty school. It's Toledo Academy of Beauty.
It's the Beer Stube, located at 5333 Monroe Street, the home of the NFL Sunday Ticket. Catch your favorite game at the Beer Stube. We have a brand new kitchen open daily for lunch and dinner at 11 a.m. At the Beer Stube, it's a Wi-Fi hotspot and enjoy free pool from Sunday through Wednesday and premier karaoke Wednesday night through Saturday night. It's where bar, grill, and good times come together. It's the Beer Stube, 5333 Monroe Street, online at ToledoBS.com.
Do your utility bills have you down? Get out from under those heavy bills with new windows from Done Right Building Services. New windows from Done Right can change the vision of your home both inside and out. And right now, for a limited time only, you can get any white double hung standard window for only $179 each. Remember, for a job done right, you better call Done Right.
New home, same address. It starts with new windows. Call us at Done Right Building Services today.
Back we are to wrap up on PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. All right, let's recap what we've seen so far. We know that Andy Shane has signed with Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. We know that Will Studd, the first PCW heavyweight champion, has signed with PCW. If Andy Shane's around, you know that Bobo Brazil Jr. is going to be around in some capacity. All right, and also, you know, you got to figure when the two of them are around, the third guy's going to be around, and that guy is Dr. Jerry Graham Jr., and we're going to talk about that in a second. A big thanks goes out to everybody that helped get this first PCW show in quite a while back on the air. Tammy Ross from CW13, thank you again. Mike Jameson, Creative Video Imagery, and Toledo Sports Network as well. Our sponsors, Seaway Marketplace, also the Beer Stube, the Toledo Academy of Beauty, and of course Mike Seeger and Red Wing Shoes on North Reynolds. Coming up on next week's show, well, we kind of let the cat out of the bag. You're going to see some from Dr. Jerry Graham Jr. Yes, he has signed as well. Who knows what wrestlers he may be bringing in to Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. We're going to find out as we go along. Also next week, you're going to see a classic match of the Great Wojo. Also next week, you're going to see a 6'6", 450-pound monster who found his way into Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. That's all next week, and it's not PC, it's PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling.
Breathe deep, the cooling air, sun setting tonight.